Welcome back from the break. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. A CCTV footage that NewsX has accessed some time ago could prove to be a clincher in the Delhi hit-and-run case. Yes, the CCTV footage shows the accused car passing through the site at 1:58 a.m., leaving a blood trail. Remember, we have, of course, told you earlier that there was a lot of blood which had been seen even in the car's lower parts, not only on the left side, but all across the car's surface. Minutes later, it's a Delhi police PCR van in this footage that, in fact, we're told is passing through this exact same location. Let's first take you through these CCTV visuals and then we will open this up for debate. Let's quickly pull out those visuals, and I just want to describe it a bit more in detail for you now on our big screen over here, so you can piece together what really transpired on that fateful New Year's Eve night. And this, of course, will also give you a sense of the police callousness as well. So let me quickly show you this video now. So in the first visual you can see on the left side of your screen, it's dated about 1:58 a.m. on that night. The Baleno car is seen passing through this CCTV camera location, and obviously this is the car that the accused were in. This is the car that has been established was used by the accused. It knocked over the scooty, it dragged the victim for kilometers and kilometers. And you can also see, if you look very, very closely and scrutinize this footage, that there are blood spots being left behind the Baleno. So blood trail is being left by the Baleno because the girl is stuck under the car. She's obviously getting more and more injured. There are wounds to her body which are bleeding, which is why there's a blood trail being left behind. Also, remember, on the surface of the car, there have been blood stains found and examined, not just on the left side where she was stuck, but all over, because obviously she was being dragged pretty intensely by this vehicle, which obviously was being driven very, very rashly by the drunk driver. Now, though, the interesting aspect of this footage is that there is a PCR van which is spotted just minutes later. So about 5 minutes later, that footage is dated 1:58 a.m. This one is from 2:03 a.m. Same CCTV camera. This PCR van follows much later. The car has, of course, disappeared, but they did not even spot the blood trail. So not only did no barrier, no barricade, no cop car stop this car for kilometers, as is shocking many, but on this same trail that the car was on, the PCR van and the PCR cops could not even see the blood trail, which would have given them clues that there was something amiss here. And remember, as I have reiterated to you earlier, this is the same car that the Baleno car, it was seen in Sultanpur, which is in this new CCTV footage that's at about 1:58 a.m. and it was seen in Mundka at 3:34 a.m. So it seems for hours and kilometers, they were just dragging this body with them. Really, really shocking. It's the same Baleno car, as you can see in this footage. So now this is going to help the police piece together perhaps what time this accident really took place. Because remember, we told you earlier, 1:38 is reportedly when the victim and her friend, about 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m., when they left the Oyo hotel. So shortly after perhaps is when that accident first took place. Okay, let's quickly now go across to some more details coming in. So now there have also been, as we've told you earlier, glasses found in the car as well. So those are further evidence that the accused were drinking. The men were drinking and they were drunk. There were bottles in the car. There were glasses in the car. Look at that. That's been discovered in the car. So you can see over there those portable glasses that are used to drink alcohol when the car is moving. Those were found in the car. So clearly they were drinking, they were partying, and they murdered this girl. So completely shocking behavior which is being seen. And of course, obviously this footage is helping the cops piece together what really took place on that fateful New Year's night. So let's quickly go now and show you, and rather open this up now to our guests who are joining us as well on the broadcast. They are going to be also helping us react and piece together this sequence of events. Ashwani Dubey, senior lawyer, Supreme Court, is joining us live. We also have Ved Bhushan, former ACP, Delhi Police, live with us. Meenal Pathak, women's rights activist, joins us live. Shweta Sharma, psychologist, is live with us. Rekha Agarwal, senior lawyer, Supreme Court, is joining us live. Ritika Sharma, criminal psychologist, is also joining us live on the broadcast. Let me bring in at this point Ved Bhushan first. Ved Bhushan, your first reaction to this new footage that is emerging, showing Baleno left blood spots, left a trail of blood. A PCR van followed soon after, did not spot it. Now glasses have been found in the vehicle as well. Ved Bhushan, your first reaction.
उदय, बिल्कुल एक इनोसेंट लड़की की जिस तरह से डेथ हुई है, सभी के लिए, पूरे हिंदुस्तान के लिए शॉकिंग है, मेरे लिए भी शॉकिंग है और आपके लिए भी शॉकिंग है। शुरू में इस केस को जिस तरह से ट्विस्ट दिया गया, कुछ पॉलिटिसाइज किया गया इसको, अब धीरे धीरे तमाम केस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन आगे बढ़ रही है और इस देश का कानून 60 दिन की एक लंबी टाइम देता है इन्वेस्टिगेशन पूरा करने के लिए, चार्जशीट से पहले। अब जो जिस आप की बात कर रहे हैं, बेलिनो कार के ब्लड ट्रेल चल रहा है, पीछे पीसीआर की गाड़ी है। पहले था कि उस लड़की के साथ रेप का मोलेस्टेशन हुआ, पीएम रिपोर्ट आ गई कि मोलेस्टेशन और रेप का एंगल रूल्ड आउट हो गया, देयर वाज नो रेप एंड मोलेस्टेशन एट ऑल दैट। एंड नाउ ब्लड ट्रेल की अभी तक कल तक ये था कि वहां पर कोई भी पीसीआर की गाड़ी या कोई भी पुलिस वाला वहां उस रोड पर मौजूद नहीं था। आप तमाम जो चैनल्स दिखा रहे हैं उसमें दिखा रहे हैं कि एक कार जा रही है, उसके पीछे पीछे पीसीआर की एक गाड़ी है जो जा रही है। अब सवाल है कि जो ब्लड जो ट्रेल्स हैं वो कितनी बूंद थी, क्या बहुत लंबी लाइन थी, क्या वो चलती गाड़ी से उस लड़की को देख पा रहे थे कि लड़की टायर में और उलझी हुई है बेलोनो कार के? मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई पुलिस वाला इतना इनसेंसिटिव होता होगा कि वो लड़की को फंसा देख ले और फिर भी वो गाड़ी चला आराम से कंफर्टेबल चलाता रहे। तो इससे साइकोलॉजिकल थिंग। नंबर 2, अब जो गिलास मिलने वाली, शराब की मिलने वाली बात है, वो इस केस को रिवर्स कर सकती है, जिसके लिए तमाम लोग संघर्ष कर रहे थे। मैं भी चाहता हूं कि उसके जो भी उसके अपराधी हैं, चाहे वो एक आदमी है चाहे 5 आदमी है, मैं 1 और 5 इसलिए बोल रहा हूं क्योंकि जो नॉर्मल कोर्ट्स के अंदर जो केवल ड्राइविंग सीट पर बैठा होता है उसको कोर्ट ट्रायल करती है, उसके खिलाफ कार्रवाई करती है। कोई एक आदमी पिछली सीट पर बैठा हुआ है, क्या वो आदमी इस एक्सीडेंट के लिए, फैटल एक्सीडेंट के लिए या 304 के लिए लायबल था या नहीं था? एक सवाल तो ये होता है। दूसरा अभी और ये सवाल पैदा होता है, यदि इनके ब्लड सैंपल्स के अंदर यदि एल्कोहल यदि आ गया इनके ब्लड सैंपल्स में, लड़कों के या ड्राइवर के, तो जो 304 है वो भी खतरे में आ सकती है। हम तो 302 की बात कर रहे हैं, हम तो कह रहे हैं इसको फांसी होनी चाहिए, पर जो 304 है, कल्पेबल होमिसाइड नॉट अमाउंटिंग टू मर्डर, वो भी शक के दायरे में आ जाए, क्योंकि अदालतें जब कोर्ट में मामले जाते हैं, टीवी डिबेट या एक हमारी जो परसेप्शन है माइंड के अंदर, उनको लेकर डिस्कशन को लेकर कोर्ट निर्णय नहीं करती। कोर्ट करती है कानून से, जो अवेलेबल लॉ ऑफ लैंड है उससे तमाम चीजों के ट्रायल होते हैं। तो ये तमाम चीजें जो उलझती जा रही हैं, जिनको हम सोच रहे थे शायद इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद सुलझ जाएंगी, पर कुछ चीजें उलझ जरूर गई हैं। तो अभी ये बहुत प्रीमेच्योर होगा कि 60 दिन से पहले जब तक चार्जशीट ना आ जाए, उसमें जो भी गिल्टी है उनके खिलाफ क्या एविडेंसेस पुलिस कलेक्ट कर पाती है, नहीं कर पाती है। आज वहां पर एक्सपर्ट की ओपिनियन के लिए वहां पर बेलिनो कार लाई गई थी, उसमें एक्सपेरिमेंट किया गया है फॉरेंसिक एक्सपर्ट्स के द्वारा कि क्या एक पॉसिबल है कि एक लड़की को 12 किलोमीटर तक, 13 किलोमीटर तक कार के अंदर ड्रैग किया जाए और उन ड्राइवर को पता न लगे। दूसरा सवाल, क्या ऑल 5 आर रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिस एक्सीडेंट और दिस मर्डर और दिस 304? तो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स येट टू बी revealed by the Delhi police. So let us wait for अदर इन्वेस्टिगेशन पार्ट। अभी इसमें मैकेनिकल इंस्पेक्शन रिपोर्ट आनी है जो बताएगी कि गाड़ी की क्या पोजीशन थी। अभी इसके अंदर ब्लड की जो अल्कोहल की रिपोर्ट है वो इसके अंदर आना बकाया है। पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट का मोटा मोटा मुझे और आपको अभी पता लग पाया है। व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इन द पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट, ये ना मुझे पता है ना आपको पता है, क्योंकि तमाम पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट अभी पब्लिक डोमेन के अंदर नहीं है। उसके अलावा बहुत सारे आई विटनेसेस हैं जिन्होंने इस चीज को देखा या नहीं देखा। सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट आई विटनेस जो लास्ट सीन वाला होता है, कानून उसको मानता है, वो है वो लड़की निधि जो उसकी फ्रेंड थी। उसका क्या वर्जन होगा, 164 सीआरपीसी में उसका स्टेटमेंट एक मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने करा जाएगा। तो ये माना जाएगा कि लड़की मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने झूठ नहीं बोलेगी, क्योंकि वो रिकॉर्डेड इसका स्टेटमेंट होगा और ट्रायल के टाइम में वो पढ़ा जाएगा। तो अभी बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस ऐसे हैं, क्वेश्चन मार्क दिल्ली पुलिस पर लगाए जा रहे हैं। और क्या दिल्ली पुलिस इस एक्सीडेंट के लिए रेस्पॉन्सिबल है? क्या वो शराब पिलाने के लिए या रैक्शन नेग्लिजेंट के लिए दिल्ली पुलिस रेस्पॉन्सिबल है? यस, देयर कुछ ना कुछ गलती हुई है, मैं मानता हूं। इसी के लिए शालिनी सिंह आज सुल्तानपुरी थाने पहुंची हुई है। होम मिनिस्ट्री ने एक बॉडी कंस्टिट्यूट की है जिसके तहत वो सारी इन्वेस्टिगेशन इंक्वायरी करके रिपोर्ट देंगी, कौन ऑफिसर्स पुलिस वाले जिम्मेदार है, उनके खिलाफ एक्शन लिया जाएगा। निर्भया केस में आपको याद होगा कि एक होम डिपार्टमेंट ने एक इंक्वायरी सेटअप की थी और एक हाई कोर्ट के जस्टिस ने इंक्वायरी की थी। उनकी रिकमेंडेशन के बाद लगभग 42 दिन बाद 2 डीसीपी को उनके खिलाफ फोर्सिव एक्शन लिया गया था, डीसीपी ट्रैफिक एंड डीसीपी पुलिस कंट्रोल रूम। तो लेट अस वेट के सभी लोग डिमांड कर रहे हैं कि तमाम पुलिस वालों को हटा दो, सस्पेंड कर दो, इनके खिलाफ एक्शन लिया जाए। यस, आई से यदि किसी का है तो वो दूध का दूध पानी का पानी होगा। शालिनी सिंह एक सीनियर आईपीएस ऑफिसर है, उनका आपको इंतजार करना पड़ेगा और पुलिस रिमांड पर है। कोर्ट भी देखती है कि रिमांड किस ग्राउंड पर मांगा जा रहा है। तो देयर आर सम क्वेश्चंस स्टिल टू बी इन्वेस्टिगेटेड और फैक्ट्स विल कम बिफोर अस। और हमें अदालतों पर विश्वास करना चाहिए, हमें अपने सिस्टम पर विश्वास करना चाहिए। गलतियां होती हैं, मैं खुद मानता हूं आपके चैनल पर उदय कि गलतियां होती हैं, गलती कहां नहीं होती, पर उस पर क्या हम एक्शन लेते हैं और कैसे उसको हम लोग रेक्टिफाई करते हैं, ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट सवाल है। इसका जवाब सरकारें देगी, दिल्ली पुलिस देगी, अदालतें उस बारे में मनन करेंगी, सोचेंगी क्या लॉ एप्लीकेबल है, क्या लॉ में हमारे कमी है, ट्रायल के अंदर क्या कमी है, कन्विक्शन के अंदर क्या कमी है, और लॉ में क्या सुधार हो सकते हैं। निर्भया के बाद आपको याद होगा वर्मा कमेटी बैठी थी, उनकी रिकमेंडेशंस हुई, वो कानून में सुधार हुए। तो क्या इस लड़की को जो शराब के नशे में ड्रैग कर रहे थे, क्या इस कानून के अंदर बदलाव होना चाहिए? यस, बदलाव हुए न जाने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि हिंदुस्तान में बदकिस्मती से 302, चाहे आप उसको मर्डर कर दें, चाहे उसको तड़पा के मारें, चाहे किसी भी तरह से उसका लड़की आदमी की जान चली जाए, सबके लिए 302 है। परंतु दूसरे कंट्रीज में एक एक केस में 400 साल की सजा हो जाती है, क्योंकि उसमें तमाम जो सेक्शंस हैं, जो क्रूएल्टी के जो एंगल्स हैं, वो उनके लिए प्रॉपर सेक्शंस हैं। बदकिस्मती से अभी हम उतना आगे कानून में तब्दीली नहीं कर पाए। तो लेट अस वेट फॉर द इन्वेस्टिगेशन, लेट अस वेट फॉर द एप्लीकेशन, माइंड ऑफ द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ द कोर्ट, और जो तमाम जो चीजें हैं वो सामने आएंगी। और हो सकता है, उम्मीद है कि शायद कानून में भी कुछ बदलाव हो, सिस्टम में कुछ बदलाव हो, इंप्रूवमेंट का स्कोप ऑलवेज है। तो कभी ये नहीं हम इस नतीजे को पहुंच सकते कि ये केस बिल्कुल लास्ट केस है, इसके बाद कोई ऑफेंस इस दिल्ली हिंदुस्तान में।
मगर सवाल उठ रहे हैं वेद भूषण बार बार कि पुलिस क्या कर रही थी? न्यू ईयर्स ईव की रात थी, न्यू ईयर्स ईव की रात पे पुलिस पेट्रोलिंग सबसे ज्यादा होती है। अगर न्यू ईयर्स ईव नाइट पे ये हाल है तो बाकी रातों पे क्या हो रहा होगा? पीसीआर वैन का क्या फायदा अगर वो देख नहीं पा रहा है कि खून है नीचे आपके सामने? कोई बैरियर क्यों नहीं लगा था उस रास्ते में? ये मुंडका से, सुल्तानपुर से कंझावला जा रहे थे, कोई पुलिस ही नहीं थी?
मैं आपको इसका दूसरा पक्ष देता हूं उदय। पुलिस का हमेशा एम्फेसिस वहां पर होता है जहां पर बहुत क्राउडेड प्लेस होते हैं, वहां पर डिप्लॉयमेंट ज्यादा होती है। कंझावला और सुल्तानपुर के बीच में जो रास्ता है वो बिल्कुल आइसोलेटेड है। अब उसका एक पक्ष ये भी होता है कि जंगल में पुलिस को लगाना चाहिए था। जो कनॉट पे साउथ दिल्ली या ईस्ट दिल्ली और दूसरी दिल्ली के पार्ट्स हैं, वेस्ट दिल्ली है, वहां पर पुलिस को नहीं भेजना चाहिए था। तो एक दोनों ही पक्ष हैं। तो ये तमाम चीजें इंक्वायरी के बाद,
Ashwini Dubey, come in here. Ashwini Dubey, come in here. On your reaction to this fresh video that has emerged, do you believe this is another twist in the case? The fact that there was a blood trail being left, which people failed to see or fathom. Also now, glasses recovered from the car. Is this crucial evidence in court?
Yes, Uday, see, the new CCTV footage which has just revealed shows that the PCR van was en route. Point one. Point two, delay in response system of the police is one of the major problem, major cause. If police would have been responsible at the time when 28 calls were made by an eyewitness, then of course we could have saved this Anjali. Third, lack of fear of law among offenders. पुलिस का इकबाल जब अपराधियों को ग्लोरीफाई करने में होगा उदय, तो इस तरह की चीजें होंगी। Third, lack of integration of police with civic agencies. Fourth, Justice Verma Committee's recommendations have not been complied in its fullest. Had it been the case, then CCTV footage would have been installed in each and every police station, police pocket, और जहां जहां पुलिस की चौकियां हैं। और पांचवा सबसे बड़ा जो इंपॉर्टेंट है कि अंजलि की कार को दिल्ली के 4 थानों के एरिया में घसीटा गया। आई विटनेसेस ने दर्जनों कॉल्स किए, लेकिन 4 थानों की पुलिस उस हत्यारी कार को नहीं खोज पाई, लेकिन डेड बॉडी को 2 घंटे के बाद खोज लिया। ये है पुलिस का पीसीआर सिस्टम। देशभक्ति, जन सेवा और सबकी रक्षा करने वाली पुलिस का ये है सिस्टम। मैं भी एक कानून में विश्वास रखने वाला व्यक्ति हूं, मैं भी देश की व्यवस्था में विश्वास रखने वाला व्यक्ति हूं, कानून का विद्यार्थी हूं। लेकिन जब हम अंजलि की दर्दनाक मौत की घटना कहानी सुनते हैं और जब हम इसको सेव कर सकते हैं, तो मैं समझता हूं कि इसमें देश की क्या दुनिया की बेहतर पुलिसिंग का दावा करने वाली और सबसे अच्छी मॉडर्न पुलिस, बेस्ट इक्विपमेंट से सजी हुई पुलिस, जिसके 18,000 कांस्टेबल्स उस रात को सड़कों पर थे, दिल्ली की सड़कों पर थे, वो पुलिस जिसने कहा कि हम ड्रंक ड्राइविंग चेक करेंगे, वो पुलिस जिसने कहा कि निर्भया केस इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के बाद महिलाओं की नहीं हर एक व्यक्ति की रक्षा की जाएगी। क्या वो एक ड्रिंक ड्राइविंग के केस में व्हाई द डिप्लॉयमेंट वाज देयर? The sole motive before deployment of 18,000 police personnel on the roads was just in order to avoid any kind of mishappening. But what we found that Anjali को 4 थानों के बीच से लेकर जाया गया, सीसीटीवी फुटेज में PCR वैन साथ में लेकर के गया। Now see what is happening. Now the second thing, maybe a case of culpable homicide. Accused may come out with clean hands saying that there is no evidence found. But the question emerges, a 20-year-old girl, a 20-year-old person is dead, who could have been saved. भाई पीसीआर सिस्टम का मतलब ही, और दिल्ली में 20 बार कॉल करने का मतलब है कि आप पूरे दिल्ली में मॉनिटरिंग हो रही है। Why police should not be accountable? Police should be accountable. And Ved Bhushan ji is very senior officer and very dear friend of mine. I do respect him. But Ved Bhushan ji, accountability यहाँ बनती है। 4 थानों की पुलिस की अकाउंटेबिलिटी बनती है। 18,000 पुलिस पर्सनल के डिप्लॉयमेंट का दावा करने वाली, देशभक्ति जनसेवा करने वाली पुलिस की अकाउंटेबिलिटी बनती है। कल्पेबल होमिसाइड, गैर इरादतन हत्या का मामला हो सकता है। और कार यूज्ड इन क्राइम वाज टेकन बाय दोज एक्यूज्ड पर्सन 4 आवर्स बिफोर। 4 घंटे पहले ही उन लोगों ने उस कार को लिया। होटल मैनेजर की स्टेटमेंट, होटल मैनेजर should have been accountable to the police. He should have informed that these things are happening in my hotel. पुलिस को वहां भी बताना चाहिए, मगर पुलिस तो आई ही नहीं सड़कों पर। और उसके बाद let's talk about the law. Law says a person has intention with respect to the conduct if he is engaged in any crime. May or may not be. This may be case of rash and negligent driving. But had the police been there, had the policeman responded to the call of any of the eyewitness who was calling, she could have saved. उस बात पर हम बार-बार बात क्यों नहीं कर सकते? Now come to the Nidhi's part. Nidhi claimed Anjali was drunk, but insisted on driving the scooter. Why the manager who told Nidhi and Anjali that you leave our hotel, you people are drunk or whatever the situation, allegedly drunk, he should have immediately, it was a midnight case. Delhi is not safe. At that point of time, he should have informed. Second, the hotel managers at the hotel, Nidhi and Anjali talked to some boys. Who are those boys? Why police did not come with this story? That the boys who have been detained for questioning the call records of the accused person, call records of Anjali, call records of Nidhi, does not smear of the conspiracy. Fourth, the 5 men who were driving the killer car in that time, they did not understand that the driver of the scooter, they got trapped. माने वो और सामने से लेकर जा रहे हैं। ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है कि कोई देखे नहीं? 1 बजे, 2 बजे, 3 बजे, कितने बजे भी घटना हो। मिसेस उदय, द क्वेश्चन इज, समटाइम श्रद्धा विल डाई, उसको 2 महीने तक उसकी बॉडी को धीरे धीरे करके भेजा जाएगा। और हमारे वही जस्टिस वर्मा कमेटी की रिकमेंडेशंस के बाद सीसीटीवी फुटेज जो तमाम हमने लगा रखे हैं, वो कोई एक्सरसाइज उसकी नहीं हो पाएगी।
Yes. Let me get in Meenal Pathak as well. Meenal Pathak, there is fresh CCTV footage which is obviously helping the investigating agencies piece together the chain of events from that night, but also giving us a better sense of what happened. Meenal Pathak, your sense from this new footage?
See, this is very unfortunate event which happened, but it is definitely bringing about so many loopholes in our whole system that on a very heavily guarded night, like a New Year night, such an incident could have happened. Plus, it's a very simple thing that the person who drives a car, he will know even the difference in the air pressure in both the, tires. And we are trying to say that there was a girl who was stuck in the axle and he could not understand that there is somebody who's stuck. Though there are statements which are pouring in which Nidhi is mentioning that yes, the people who were driving the car, people who were sitting inside the car, they knew that there's somebody stuck there in the car. But person who's driving the vehicle would always know what is there in the car. There is no question here that a person who's driving and he'll not know that there is a body which is stuck in the axle. There's no point of arguing that kind of a statement. I'm sure that a lot of arguments and evidences will be submitted and the justice will be delivered. But prima facie, those people knew that there's a body which is stuck there. Yes, reports and blood trail all is coming along and making it more clear in the next few days. But I definitely feel that those boys, after committing such a brutal accident, should have had that kind of a human trait inside them to call ambulance, to call police right there at that spot and get things sorted, instead of running away with the body, knowing that the girl is getting dragged for so long in that car. And it is very unfortunate that nobody could see, and definitely our entire police administration system, the delay in looking at this, that the people on the roads are able to cite it, and the people on the roads are calling for help. Girl is screaming for help, and still it is all going. I get filled with so much sorrow just talking about it, just feeling the plight of that girl, somebody who's as young as 20 years. And I know there are a lot of moral policing which will again start coming over, saying that why was she in the hotel at 2 o'clock, why was she drunk. That all will come later. But let's talk about where is the police administration at the entire time, and why such a delay, and why such a delay happening on a night like a New Year. Why can't we be ready for such things? When we know that around the New Year, such things happen. People do celebrate, and out of their celebratory mode, they do tend to, get into drunk driving. Let's have police extra additional forces being deployed at all the points. There's no point like only on the party places the police has to be deployed. Definitely deploy the police at the places which are darker, where there is no street lights, where there are less number of people, because crimes get committed only at these locations. Where there is a lot of street lights, when there are a lot of people, the chances are less. But places like this should have been guarded well and should have a better response system on a PCR. I don't know how many times we will get such kind of a wake-up call, and we always consider it as a wake-up call, and after a few months we all go back into a deep slumber, not executing any of the policies, remedies which are being pointed out. Another very precious life being lost on a very callous attitude of the whole system here.
Okay, let me also get in fact, Shweta Sharma, psychologist. Shweta Sharma, just take us through what kind of psychology of these accused, was there, that they knew possibly that someone was beneath their wheels, they knew possibly that a blood trail was being left, but yet they did nothing, yet they carried on drinking and partying and driving. Shweta Sharma, and how are you reacting to these fresh footages coming out?
Yeah, so the fresh footage, or even if we saw the first statement about this incident, it is clearly showing that antisocial personality, which we can call sociopath or antisocial personality, which obviously go against the rules of the society. Drunk and driving, that is one thing definitely which is against the rule. And this personality has this psychology always in the mind. Let's do something which is against the system, which is against the society. So in that rage, in that kind of personality profiling, yes, they can do it definitely if we go, because court never considered things like that. Proofs will be there, evidences will be there, but never go with the psychological profile. But if we try to understand psychological profiling of an adult, or maybe in later adolescence, we can understand what kind of acts they can act into later life. So it is clearly a case of antisocial personality. Whenever we see any planned murder, or this was unintentional, definitely we can say, because kind of evidence we are getting, kind of links we are getting, it is in there is no clear intention clearly marked, but definitely there was a fun, there was a sense of enjoyment in the mind. Okay, something happened, something happened on the larger scale, but still you are not empathic, you are not feeling that emotion. That is showing how hard you are, how insane you are at the heart.
Yes.
And that is clearly coming about your personality.
Yes.
Even after the incident, you never felt, okay, we should go to the police or we should help the family member. We should at least check what exactly happened. Okay, you were drunk for some
Absolutely.
duration, but after that, there is no realization about
Okay,
the...
let's listen in now first to what Anjali's mother and uncle told us in this latest conversation. Remember, they are the family members of the victim who unfortunately has died on New Year's night.
कंझावला इंसिडेंट के बाद से एक प्रत्यक्षदर्शी सामने आती है और निधि, जो कि अपने आप को अंजलि की दोस्त बताती है और तमाम बातें रखती है, लेकिन उन बातों पर क्या कुछ कहना है हमारे साथ अंजलि की माँ और उनके मामा प्रेम मौजूद हैं। तो माँ से सवाल कर लेते हैं, जिस हिसाब से अब ये जो लड़की निधि है ये कह रही है कि नशे में धुत थी, लेकिन पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट में तो ऐसे कोई जिक्र ही नहीं है, तो ये जो बयान दे रही है क्यों दे रही है?
पता नहीं क्यों झूठे बयान दे रही है, किसके दबाव में है।
ये तो आरोप लगा रही है, बहुत
गलत आरोप लगा रही है, मेरी लड़की से के लिए झूठ बोल रही है।
ये यहाँ तक कह रही है कि ये रूम में उसने अपने बॉयफ्रेंड को बुलाया था, तमाम दोस्तों को बुलाया था, मैं जानती नहीं। मैं
उसके साथ तो कोई गलत चीज़ हुई भी नहीं है, चलो बॉयफ्रेंड को बुलाया तो उसके साथ तो कोई गलत चीज़ भी नहीं हुई। पोस्टमार्टम की रिपोर्ट में आया है। आईडी तो निधि के नाम की लगी हुई है, होटल तो निधि के नाम का बुक है।
तो ये जो निधि कर रही है, तमाम आरोप लगा रही है, क्या लग रहा है कि सही बोल रही है कि वो स्कूटी से गिर गई थी?
अगर स्कूटी से गिरती तो मेरी अंजलि के इतनी चोट क्यों लगती, निधि के क्यों नहीं चोट लगी?
तो ये जो बोल रही है निधि, क्या आप चाहती हो कार्रवाई हो उन पे?
होनी चाहिए।
होनी चाहिए उन लोग?
हाँ जी, होनी चाहिए।
प्रेम भाई, चक्कर ये है कि ये निधि बार बार इस तरह का बयान देकर अंजलि को इस तरह से बदनाम करने की कोशिश क्यों कर रही है? आखिर क्या मकसद है इसका?
जी वो सरासर तो वो गलत बोल रही है। एक उसको लड़की के नाते भी सोचना चाहिए, वो भी एक लड़की है। अगर उसके साथ ऐसा होता है और कोई दूसरा उसके घर वालों मतलब ऐसा करके फिर वो गंभीर आरोप लगाया किसी का बच्चा चले गया, बट फिर उसको बदनाम भी कर रहे हो तुम कि दारू भी पीती है, वो भी पीती है।
ऐसी कौन सी दोस्ती है कि दोस्त को ही आप छोड़ के भाग जाते हो और बदनाम करने लगते हो, वो भी 2 दिन बाद?
ये दोस्त नहीं होती, ये किसी की डील होती है। जो थे पांचों मिले जुले इससे निधि से ज़रूर मिले हुए हैं, क्योंकि जो निधि लड़की है वो कृष्ण बिहार की, और जो आरोपी है कुछ लोग कृष्ण बिहार के हैं इस केस में।
तो ये ऐसा लिपापोती क्यों कर रही है? बयान क्या किसी दबाव में दिया जा रहा है? किसके दबाव में दिया जा रहा है? कुछ इसके बारे में पता किया आपने?
ये किसी न किसी के दबाव में जरूर दिया जा रहा है, या तो इसको पैसे से मुंह बंद करा जा रहा है। अगर ऐसा था उसी टाइम पे एक्सीडेंट हुआ था तो तुम्हारा फर्ज था दिल्ली पुलिस को फ़ोन करने का और उसकी पेरेंट्स को बताने का कि ऐसे ऐसे हमारे साथ ये घटना हो गया, ना कि उसकी मम्मी तुम्हारे को कोई फांसी दिलवाती। तुम्हारे को इस चीज़ का डर था कि मतलब कि हमारा किसी चीज़ में नाम ना आए।
तो प्रेम भाई, किस पर शंका जाहिर कर रहे हैं आप? कौन है पैसे देकर और बयान इस तरह का डाइवर्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है?
जी वो तो प्रशासन इनसे पूछे ना किस चीज़ से ये डर रही है, इससे सख्ताई से पूछे। जो इसने एलिगेंस लगाया कि मतलब कि दारू।
And we're going to be discussing now the post-mortem report and in fact the major findings, which include details of the grievous injuries on the victim and the fact that there was no indication of any sexual assault found as well. Ashwini Dubey, senior lawyer, Supreme Court, is joining us live. We also have Ved Bhushan, former ACP, Delhi Police, live with us. Meenal Pathak, women rights activist, is joining us live. Shweta Sharma, psychologist, is live with us. We also have Rekha Agarwal, senior lawyer, Supreme Court, joining us live. Ritika Sharma, criminal psychologist, is also with us live. Ashwini Dubey, let me bring you in here on what you make of this post-mortem report, which of course is telling us about the grievous injuries that the victim sustained, the fact that the brain matter is actually missing. Obviously because of the way she must have been dragged and injured in this case.
Uday bhai, it's a duty of investigator to collect each and every part of the evidence, wherever it is, wherever it can be recovered, and it's a duty of police to recover it and that to take to the logical conclusion. So whatever is missing or the crucial evidence, be it the body part or any other circumstantial or direct evidence, it must be the part of the investigation. Point 2. The theory which was narrated by the police, which has been overturned by the postmortem report, shows that how reluctant, how negligent, how irresponsive the police was. Third, the friend Anjali. देखिए उदय भाई, जो रात में अपनी दोस्त को मरता हुआ छोड़ दे, इससे ज्यादा इनसेंसिटिव मानव व्यवहार, ह्यूमन नेचर, ह्यूमन टेंडेंसी आप समझते हो। और उसके बाद 20 कॉल करने के बाद हमारे देशभक्ति जनसेवा का दावा करने वाली, देश की सबसे शानदार पुलिसिंग का दावा करने वाली पुलिस, महिला अधिकारों की रक्षा करने वाली पुलिस रिस्पॉन्स नहीं करे, जो कहे 18,000 पुलिस का डिप्लॉयमेंट है और ड्रिंक ड्राइविंग को चेक करते हुए तमाम चीजें करें, उसका डिप्लॉयमेंट, उसका रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। तीसरा, क्रिमिनल जुरिस्प्रूडेंस, लीगल जुरिस्प्रूडेंस, लॉ विल कम लेटर। कानून के मुताबिक हम एक ऐसे संवैधानिक डेमोक्रेसी में रहते हैं जहां हर एक इंडिविजुअल के जान की कीमत है, और उस हर इंडिविजुअल के जान की कीमत जो बचाई जा सकती थी, ये स्टेट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है कि वो इंश्योर करे कि हर व्यक्ति सेफ रहे, हर व्यक्ति सुरक्षित रहे। यहां पर लैकिंग। 4 थानों की पुलिस, हाउ कैन बी दिस पॉसिबल उदय भाई? क्वेश्चन विल इमर्ज टुमारो। वी मे आर्ग्यू दैट इज नॉट अ कल्पेबल होमिसाइड, रेखा जी वुड एग्री। Tomorrow we may say this is not a murder. Tomorrow we say this is a 304A. But question herein is how irresponsible we have become. We saw in Nirbhaya's case. एक भी जस्टिस वर्मा कमेटी के रिकमेंडेशंस को अगर ग्राउंड रियलिटी के मुताबिक इंप्लीमेंट किया होता तो तमाम इन घटनाओं को हम बचा सकते थे, बट एक भी जगह पर नहीं। और क्यों? क्योंकि पुलिस का इंटेंट, पुलिस का एक्शन और अपराधियों के ऊपर पुलिस का इंपैक्ट सब खत्म हो चुका है। और इसीलिए the moment we have started glorifying these kind of offenses, some officers, I was watching on TV channel one former police officer was saying कि वो अपराधियों का इलाका है, इसलिए उस समय रात में नहीं निकलना चाहिए। माने अब इलाके पुलिस के बजाय, कानून के बजाय दिल्ली जैसे शहर में अपराधियों के होने लगे। So this shows there is a negligent act on the part of the state. Then the first part lies on the 4 SHOs, then the second the constables, 4 the supervisory officers, they must be held accountable. और उसके बाद कोर्ट का अपना नजरिया है एविडेंसेस को इवैल्यूएट करने का। But the question again is who is responsible for this? And prima facie we find that the police and the police system and non-coordination और लोगों के लिए non-responsive attitude, यानी 20 कॉल्स के बाद अगर पुलिस नहीं आती है, कोई कार्रवाई नहीं आती। Over to you, उदय भाई।
Ved Bhushan, come in here on also the fact now that sexual assault has been ruled out in the post-mortem. Ved Bhushan, can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having some problem there with Mr. Bhushan's connection. Let me bring in Meenal Pathak at this point. Meenal Pathak, sexual assault ruled out. Also, no evidence of alcohol consumption as being claimed by the victim's friend.
See, I would not like to call her as a victim friend at the first place. And the way she fled the accident spot in hurry, thinking that she might get included in this whole unfortunate incident itself shows that she is clearly no friend to the victim here. Plus, we really need to educate all the all our youngsters here, and this education has to be from both the sides. From the society, we need to plan such education classes. Plus, we have to have these, education, sessions which should get conducted by the police, where they take this fear out of the mind of all these youngsters still running in their 20s and early 20s as kids. Why are you scared of the system? The system, this whole police administration is there for your help. There has to be a proper call which should have been made by the people at the right time, just when the accident happened, and we could have saved this whole, this whole incident, which is so shameful and a very bad spot on our nation as such. Why was there no call made by Nidhi? One call to a police administration and one call to the ambulance could have saved the life of that poor girl. So obviously not a friend here. Plus, I think there has to be a proper education which needs to go to all the kids here, that this administration, this police department is there for us. It is there for our support, and our help is nothing to run away from there. Plus, there has to be action which needs to be taken by the police. The police needs to be more sensitive. The police needs to be more sensitized towards the people, and definitely towards the women, as they feel more comfortable and calling you guys for help. They shouldn't even feel 1 second hesitation to call police for help. I'm sure that she could have called her parents, she could have called anybody else, but police should be able to reach that spot fast and help poor girl out here. But no, nothing like that happened. Plus, I would like to, educate all the parents here that try to become as possible and as, friendly as you can to be with your kids, right? In nowadays, times are changing. You can't be morally, policing your kids all the time. Don't step out, or don't do this, or don't do that. In fact, there are so many professional people who have to stay out nights because they are running on the night shifts. Try to find measures in which you can safely guard your kids. Okay, stay connected with them. Know where are they. Know their places, and then kids should also be sending the places to their parents.
Yes.
There has to be a proper connection between where your kids are. Being a mother of a teenager, I will not be able to stop my
Yes.
daughter to them where. Yeah,
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Shweta Sharma, let me get you in here on, of course, the fact that sexual assault has been ruled out as well in this post-mortem, in this autopsy. That was being speculated by some, but it seems that there is closure after the post-mortem and autopsy details have been revealed.
Yeah, so thing is that sexual assault is ruled out by the postmortem, but we need to understand what kind of sexual assault can be ruled out through the postmortem. If there is something else happened and it actually comes under the abuse, it actually comes under the assault. But definitely there are no physical marks, there are no internal marks which you can rule out under the postmortem. What about that psychology? What about this science? You are never sure about it. What exactly happened before the accident? You are not sure about what is the role of the friend, so-called friend there in that case. So we can't say nothing happened before the accident, it was planned or not. There are many things which needs to be investigated. As coming to the point, as Meenal said, definitely there is sensitization is required. Why people are afraid to inform properly, why that girl was afraid to inform immediately to ambulance or the police or the family members, because we know in the system, whenever we call someone, first of all, there is a delay. Second, on the second part, you will in the question marks, why you were there, what you were doing, what was the case. So there are questions from the other side coming to you, not the help on first hand. And that is the reason people are usually avoiding such cases and people are not sensitizing in that way. Parents usually say, please stay out from all such kind of incidents. So these are some issues, these are some questions which need to be covered under the investigation. Only then we can understand what kind of assault. Maybe it is not physical, but it could be psychological. It could be maybe there is something else happened. Maybe it was in the case of the rage, this accident happened. Maybe they followed the scooty because whatever they are saying, they were drunk, they were after the party. We can't say the exact scene, what happened before the case. But so I don't believe only on the postmortem report, because there are many ways of the assault which can be in this case.
Okay. Now, we're also going to be discussing the claims now which have been made by Anjali's friend Nidhi. Nidhi has claimed that Anjali was drunk. The perpetrators knew what they were doing. The fact that she panicked and her phone broke during the accident. So, these are now Rekha Agarwal excuses being given that she panicked, she was blank, her phone broke. Which is why obviously she did not inform the police. Reportedly, she informed her family. They also never informed the police until 48 hours later, which is also raising many questions, Rekha Agarwal. And her claims versus counter claims you can also react to, where she claims that Anjali was drunk, but the post-mortem autopsy not revealing that just yet.
What I would say over here is that prima facie, though it appears to be a case of accident, but everything will all depend upon the investigation which is conducted by the police. And I can only pray to God that our Delhi police actually acts with honesty and with diligence in this matter. Because we've all seen, in our experience at the bar, and Ashwini Dubey, who's my colleague at the bar, will also agree to it, that how wishy-washy the investigation is and how wishy-washy is the charge sheet which is ultimately filed. So whether the witness, the friend of the victim, whether she gave a genuine version, whether it was a doctrine version at the instance of the accused persons, whether she did it under any fear. Now, all these things are all what we call conjectures and surmises in our legal language. Everything will depend. We have to first examine her statement under 164 CRPC. Now, all entire evidence, the entire evidence which is collected by the Delhi police during the period of investigation, and what is submitted in the charge sheet, and whether there's a supplementary charge sheet, because as of now, the police is only going to file the charge sheet on the basis of what they have. But there are also chances that it may be a case where a supplementary charge sheet may have to be filed at any point of time. So what I can say over here, Viniji, is that though we are discussing a very, very serious matter over here, and we are all appalled, in fact, the conscience of the nation and every person who is, keeping tabs on this incident, we are all shocked. And, it seems, to the common man that it was a case of hit and run, and the accused people were drunk and they did not realize, or they deliberately did not want to acknowledge the fact that there was a body under the vehicle, etc., etc. So there is no end to the conjectures and surmises that we may make. It is all a case of theories which you are putting forward. So there'll be one theory after the other, but this kintu parantu, thing will go on and on. ऐसा होता तो ऐसे होता, ऐसा क्यों नहीं हुआ, इसने क्यों नहीं ऐसे किया, एक आम आदमी ऐसी सिचुएशन में क्या करता है? Is it normal for 4 persons who are doing drunken driving, in a total case of inebriated state? Is it acceptable that such people would not come to know that they had knocked on a person and that there was a body under the wheels of the car? So all these are matters which will need thorough investigation from the legal perspective, from the perspective of the Indian Evidence Act, from the perspective of human psychology, so all those things ultimately will, it is too premature. We may continue to dissect the whole situation again and again and again, because as of now, another incident has not taken place. And public memory is very short. Today, this Kanjhavla incident we are discussing, by tomorrow, this incident would have been forgotten. Unfortunately, until, God forbid, any such incident again takes place. So I think that the need of the hour at the moment is to ensure that, as the other speaker said, we need more alacrity in the system. But the police, by the citizens of our country, we need sensitization. They need legal reforms are required. So many laws have been made post Nirbhaya case, the 2013 amendments to the criminal law. Where are they? It all looks very good on paper. Oh, Justice Verma committee suggested this, suggested that. There have been amendments. But the conviction rate is so low. The conviction rate, the statistics show that the conviction rate is not there at all. So, unfortunately, we may go on discussing such incidents whenever they happen, but there is no situation until we have a holistic approach to the entire problem. There should be more policing. The police should be more vigilant. Police should be sensitized. Human beings should be sensitized. How did these 4 people get their licenses? Are they having valid licenses? Were they even trained to drive the vehicle in a proper manner? What is the role of the witness? So there are so many things which need to be examined, and I would suggest that, and I would say over here, with utmost respect, and I must thank the media that they're at least taking it up. It is thanks to the media that these cases are at least discussed. There are hundreds of cases which, hundreds of Anjalis, whose cases never go totally unreported. So it is a matter of shame. We can all our heads down in shame. But time will tell whether it was a case only an accident, whether it was a case of contributory negligence, whether it is a case of sexual molestation, whether it was a case of just a murder. For all we know, it may be a case of murder. So, as the old saying goes, truth is stranger than fiction. And I hope that, we do not come out with another story which is absolutely sordid and totally bizarre from what we are discussing.
Okay, let me in fact take that across to Ritika Sharma as well. On the psychology of the victim's friend, what have you observed in her behavior ever since the accident happened and the claims now that she's made belatedly?
Okay, so again, I would not call her a friend because she was not there when she was needed to be there. And as one of our speakers mentioned earlier, that she was probably, we can sit here and make assumptions because obviously we were not there at the situation and we don't really have a detailed information of the police inquiry that was set. So we can just sit here and make assumptions as to what really would have happened. But the behavior of the victim's friend that we're claiming at this point of time could have been, maybe there is something way deeper to be known, and it could moreover, it could be more about she was scared to inform and she just wanted to run away because she didn't want to face any legal consequences, or she didn't want to face any sort of consequences because obviously they were coming out of a hotel room, and as a girl it gets a little suspicious, which is the way a society trains us. But more about blaming the police or the legal administrations and everyone about this thing, I fail to understand why aren't we not looking at the people who were in the car when the accident happened. Our legal definitions usually stand strong on intention. So as most of us on this panel do drive a car, right? So when we are driving a car, even a small stone under the car is something we can feel. So we are talking about a person under the car with the entire scooter, and that person was dragged for 14 kilometers straight. And if you come and tell me that they were too drunk to realize that there was someone under their car and the dragging was for 14 kilometers, I feel like there are way too many loopholes in this case. What we need to understand is, where is the humanity? If you're out somewhere and if you accidentally bump into a person, your first reaction comes is, I'm so sorry I bumped into you. Or even in an animal, if you accidentally hit an animal, or if an animal comes in front of your car, your first reaction is, oh my god, what did I actually do? You would either put it aside of the road or do something about it. Going around for 14 kilometers without even a stop, this is clearly intentional, and there should be murder charges on the 5 people because they aren't minors. They probably have license. Being drunk or not drunk is not a say in the situation right now. And about the victim's friend, she could have done anything. She could have gone anywhere out there.